Ropes are going back up right now as we get ready for the main event. Sam is sprinting over to try and grab a quick interview. Go on, Sam.
Thanks, guys. I have just a moment to catch up with Matt Makowski before his match. Thank you for joining me, Matt. So you are a black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu as well as a mixed martial artist. How does that factor into your strategy tonight against Gen 1 original Jigsaw?
You see,
Ever since the curtain been pulled back on the Crucible, members of the Wrestle Factory have been uneasy. They've been on edge, like their back was up against the ropes. Sam, I don't think anyone's felt that way more than Wrestle Factory founder and head trainer Mike Quackenbush. So what does he do? He calls in reinforcements. He calls upon the help of his most prized pupil, Jigsaw, winner of the Campeonato de Parejas, winner of the Young Lions Cup, winner of King of Trios. Jigsaw, you are an icon here in CHIKARA. But times have changed, Jig! The Crucible runs the show now. We were trained differently, trained to win by knockout or submission. And it doesn't matter that today's match is under traditional rules. I'm gonna personally show you that the fire reveals what the flesh conceals.
Matt Makowski is on his way to the ring for the main event.
As Matt Makowski is getting into the ring right now, we await the arrival of a Gen 1 original, none other than the wrestling riddle wrapped in an enigma. I'm referring, of course, to my own tag team partner. Jigsaw is going to go one-on-one with Matt Makowski of the Crucible.
You ever have that friend, Mike Quackenbush, that you don't want to hang around with a lot, but every now and then you're happy to see him? That's how I feel about Jigsaw.
I knew that's where that was going. The whole time, I knew that's where that was going. Will you stop?
As you see Jigsaw coming to the ring, good old puzzle face.
Been here since the very beginning. There are members of the CHIKARA roster who debuted all the way back in Season 1. And if that's when they debuted, we refer to them as Gen 1 Originals here at CHIKARA. That's exactly what Jigsaw is, and a very decorated member of our roster. Like Makowski pointed out just a minute ago, he's held the Young Lions Cup. He has won the Campeonatos de Parejas. He had a great tag team partner when he did. He's won the very first King of Trios. He's a very decorated athlete. And Matt Makowski, so many of his accolades come from outside the world of professional wrestling. He's a former mixed martial artist who turned all of his attention toward pro wrestling after we saw him in Bellator and Elite XC and other fighting leagues.
And that's very, very dangerous for a guy like Jigsaw, who's in there right now, because Matt Makowski, he has studied Jigsaw. It's all out there. But what Matt Makowski can do, maybe Jigsaw hasn't seen it.
Well, you're probably exactly right on that point. In fact, if you go back, you can actually see footage at earlier King of Trios of Matt Makowski in the front row. So he's been up close and personal studying Jigsaw during a period of time that Jigsaw didn't even know Matt Makowski existed.
And that's what's scary, is somebody in the shadows for that long, knowing that they can beat a guy like Jigsaw, and you get that jealousy and frustration, and look at him just out-wrestling Jigsaw.
Well, Jigsaw's going to have to wrestle a very different style of game here. His defense has got to be on point. When you don't know what your opponent is capable of, you really got to make one of two choices. Am I going to go full bore, throw all of my offense out there, not knowing what the opponent is capable of? Or am I going to try and defend so that I don't put myself in a predicament where I can be tapped out or pinned?
You know, if I were Jigsaw, I would just take a count-out loss.
He is digging, trying to get that arm. Matt Makowski wants the left arm of Jigsaw. For a brief second, he had a top wrist lock. Now he's switching positions.
Yeah, look at that. Jigsaw trying to defend against it here and takes him right over.
He's got a head scissor on Makowski, and he's got that thing laced perfectly. Change of position up into a front bridge. Makowski's going to try and find his way out.
Everything Jigsaw does, Matt Makowski has been able to counter.
Makowski's very, very confident here. I'm surprised to see somebody like Matt Makowski, given his background, allow Jigsaw to get back up onto his vertical base.
That's true. Maybe he's not afraid of Jigsaw. Maybe he wants to test Jigsaw.
Jigsaw has got to keep his arm bent. That is one of Makowski's favorites. And a lot of fighters who have that Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu background, they love that Jujigatame, that cross-chest arm breaker. That was popularized in the early days of the UFC by Royce Gracie, and then it just permeated fighting styles around the world, including professional wrestling.
And now Jigsaw up and out of the way here. Look at this, takes him over.
Went up, found a Frankensteiner, took him over, but he didn't put him down.
Not at all, and now Jigsaw, though, with Makowski in the corner. Stop wasting time. You've got a dangerous guy in there you're with.
Jigsaw opening him up. He wants to pepper the chest. He wants to punish Matt Makowski, and I like the strategy of punishing and wearing somebody down. One, it's going to make them more susceptible to your moves. It's also going to diminish how effective their own offense is.
But with a guy like Matt Makowski, is it smart? Look at this!
What a display of agility. I am shocked to see that. What is he doing here? Look at the change of position. He pulled that out of thin air, Sidney.
Wow, how dangerous with all the training from Ophidian. He's been trained to beat people in 2 minutes.
That's right, yeah, they are exceptionally ruthless. One more time, looking for the Jujigatame. He's trying to lock the elbow joint. Here you see the clasp. He turns him around, put the shoulders down. That's great defensive wrestling from Jigsaw.
Jigsaw was holding that other hand like you hold on to a $5 bill at a store. Oh, look at that!
Now it's Jigsaw taking control. He's got the right arm. Oh, and he opened him up so he could drive in with the knee. Will that be enough to put Makowski away? No way.
You know, that may be something there for Jigsaw. Go for a knockout. You're being out-wrestled here. You are being outclassed. Matt Makowski, you may just have to knock him out.
Well, Jigsaw is nothing if not adaptable. He can change styles in the blink of an eye. He's caught him. He just snared both legs at the same time. Jigsaw's trying to push his way out. Can he find a counter?
Coming down. Oh, and look at this!
Pulling right through. He was able to get to it. He only had half a double leg Nelson on there, so I guess a single leg Nelson. That's what half would be.
That is half.
Back bridge, display of both strength and balance. Looking for the front bridge into a backslide. Held the wrist down. That was a great pinning combination by Makowski.
And he just holds his arms while they both come to a vertical base. And Makowski with that big kick, and he may have just knocked the wind out of Jigsaw.
Absolutely. You can see Jigsaw taking 3 very deep breaths. His chest was heaving, and he just had that left arm kicked out. He was not ready to defend.
Matt Makowski in complete control as he is. Jigsaw's cowering in the corner, telling the referee, please make this stop. Make it stop.
You have a fanciful imagination. Has anyone ever said that to you, Mr. Markman?
Nobody's ever called me fanciful before.
No. Well, I think your career in authoring children's books is awaiting.
And now Makowski authoring elbows right to the arm of Jigsaw, and he's now holding it.
Right, he's clutching that damaged wing near to him, and he's got to try and protect that compromised limb because Makowski will just continue to pick him apart. Look at what he's doing here. He's got that left arm again, and he drove his knee down into the joint. He wants to weaken up the joint, so when he does get around to slapping on some kind of armbar or joint lock, Jigsaw will have no choice but to give up.
And now it's seemingly inevitable. Jigsaw is down. That arm is just a target at this point.
I disagree. It is not inevitable. We have seen Jigsaw pull victory from the jaws of defeat. How many times over the years here at CHIKARA? I've stood in the corner and watched him do it as his tag team partner. You can't count him out because of how adaptable he is. He'll switch to high flying. He'll switch to the strikes. He'll switch to high impact. He can always change up his game.
Some partner you are standing there while he's in there doing all the work.
Do you not know how tag team wrestling works?
Never seen it. Never seen it.
Never seen it.
And now,
woo! What a butterfly suplex.
Taking him right over. That's it.
Hook on the far leg, but Jigsaw's not done.
Where does he find it from? If that were me, I would have just given up by now.
Yes, you would have, but Jigsaw has the heart of a fighter, and he's out there fighting for everything he's worth.
Makowski looking now. There may be some confusion. He may have just put some doubt into his head here because he doesn't know what he has to do to beat him.
Rolling back the Pat O'Connor roll. Oh, Jigsaw with the counter. It's forward into the prawn hold. He stopped. Short super kick found the mark. Brought it up perfectly onto the chin of Matt Makowski. Despite that short range, demonstrates what discipline Jigsaw has with every kick he throws.
If there were ever an opportunity, it's right now. Jigsaw needs to hit Makowski with everything he has.
Jigsaw's got to get out of the corner. Reverse of direction one more time. If he can continue to disorient Makowski with that unorthodox offense, that's the key to success. Hooks them all up to the brain. Buster with beautiful execution. This should be it.
Could it be?
No, he didn't put enough weight across the shoulder blades.
He can't. The arm is numb right now. Look at him moving the fingers, trying to get some feeling back into that arm.
All that damage Makowski doled out to the left arm saved the match for him on that last 2 count.
And now Makowski here. He's worn out though, and Jigsaw, he's still going after him.
Well, Makowski's used to winning matches in a matter of seconds. Matches that go over 2 minutes long. They're outside the wheelhouse of these Crucible fighters. He's looking for a Kimura.
Look at that, he's got the arm right there.
Can he get it?
Jigsaw trying to fight out of it with everything he has. Makowski, look at this.
Oh, he dumped him. Can he hook that leg? Can he pull the weight back? No. Oh boy, he's in a world of trouble. Look at this.
He's going for it.
He's got it all locked up, Jig. You gotta defend, Get out of there.
He can't lock it in.
He's really trying hard to connect that scissor. Look at what Makowski's doing with his legs. Jigsaw's got to try and stay flat and scoot. He scooted back far enough to get the bottom rope.
But that's the advantage that Jigsaw has in this match. He's 6'4" tall, meaning he goes over a little more than half of the ring. He can reach those ropes, and that's what he did.
You know this ring is 18 feet.
That's right, 6.5 divided by 3 multiplied by 4. I know the math.
Boy, do you ever. Matt Makowski going back to work on Jigsaw. He's got to get back up to his base and start to defend. He's so concerned with the damage to his left arm, I think it's throwing him off his game. I've seen Jigsaw at his best, and I can tell the difference.
Yeah, right now we are not seeing the best of Jigsaw, but we are seeing the best of Makowski, because Makowski is putting the damage to that arm.
He is ruthless, isn't he?
And if you notice that last forearm there, that was to the neck, on the same side as that forearm, trying to make that arm even more numb.
You're right, especially if you can pinch up the nerves that pass through the trapezius region, you can get those fingers to go numb.
And now Jigsaw trying everything here, but you know that that doesn't have the effect that it would have about 10 minutes ago.
I think he's got to go for his kicks here. I don't think you want to stand and trade forearms with Makowski. Jigsaw's forte are his kicks.
Look at this, though. He's trying everything here.
He's mixing it up, that's for sure.
Look at this. He is just holding that arm, though.
Through too high with the line. Underneath. Oh, he's out the back. No, who's got who? It's Makowski in control. Makowski's got him all tied up. Submission predicament for Jigsaw. Is he done for?
Good night. This one's over.
Jigsaw's got to get out of this. He frees himself from the body scissor.
That's a pin.
Great front bridge on the part of Jigsaw. The defensive game has really been the difference maker. And there's that kick I was talking about.
And now Jigsaw, he is trying. He's going up to where he's most comfortable. We've seen him fly through the air over the years with the grace.
You know, this is one department Makowski cannot hope to match Jigsaw in, the high-flying department. I like that change of tactic.
That will be the only thing. Uh-oh.
Backwards they go. Pat O'Connor roll one more time. Up into the air. Juji Anime. He's locked the joint, Sydney. That's it.
He's got the elbow joint.
He had the tap out. There was no other choice but that. The submission hold was locked, and Matt Makowski is your winner in today's main event. Let's go back down to Macy Caroline.
Thank you all so much for joining us. Next week, we'll be joined by our current CHIKARA Grand Champion, Dasher Hatfield, and Lucas Calhoun will also be in action. From the floor of the Wrestle Factory, this is Macy Caroline. It's game over. We will see y'all next week.